In this video, we are going to cover how I went from a complete hopeless virgin to now having gone on 405 dates with 201 different girls, and I clapped 53 of them in the last 2 years. So how I went from this virgin to this amount of girls in 2 years. How did this happen? That's what we are going to cover in a very raw, in a very transparent way in this video. And the interesting part is I didn't change my face. My face, like with this huge protuberancy that I have here, didn't change. It was the same when I was getting no girls. My height didn't change, my fame didn't change, my money didn't change. Well, probably even had more money before. So the point is, all of that was stable. The only thing that I ended up changing was the things that I was doing, the actions that I was taking, the mindset that I had, right? So I didn't change anything externally. And of course, I have proof for all of this. I have all of the thousands of recordings, hundreds of photos and videos, and I've been posting about them a couple of years. By the way, I started posting YouTube videos about like 2 years ago, kind of, and it was my first videos of how I was, making so many mistakes, approaching these girls and still not getting laid, right? So far now I have done 3,500 approaches, give or take. I have like 2,900 of them recorded, and I'm going to explain to you what happened from the initial part to now this. So I've always been very competitive, I would say, and I was focusing on business before. I was going to uni, then I finished uni as well. I dropped out and I was focusing on business. That was all I was doing for like the last 4 or 5 years before starting this approaching girls journey, right? And at some point, I just could not take the pain anymore. Like, I was a burden, right? Like, the girls were not paying attention to me in the school, in high school, in university. I think when I was 15 and I went to like these light parties, light clubs. So when I was like 15, I was going to this, and finally one day I got lucky and I got a makeout.
My time has come.
And that was pretty much all I had, right? Until like all of these years, right? So then I became obsessed. At some point I could not take the pain anymore. I wanted to get girls. I wanted to feel validated. At some point I wanted to build a family, right? So I thought, okay, there are many things I need to fix. So I switched completely from having all of my focus in business side of things to now going into the girls side of things. And I remember it was 2023. It was 30th of July 2023, because in August I was going on a trip to the north of Spain. I thought, okay, let's start here. So I downloaded Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, all of these apps, and I was just trying to figure out things. You have to keep in mind, I have like a marketing background, so I was just studying the books, so I was reading all of the books, and I was trying to optimize my profile, but I didn't get any matches. I remember I got one match with a girl named Mariam that I ended up texting. She didn't reply. I texted her again. She didn't reply. I texted like 5 or 10 times, like just needy, super needy.
Daddy, chill.
But she was not paying attention to me, of course. So then I came back to my city, which is Madrid, after this unsuccessful start this summer, and I started going out, partying, right? I did it sometimes in the past. Of course, I wanted to get some girls, but I was not going out with the only purpose of just telling my friends, man, let's get girls tonight, let's strategize, right? I was not doing that. But now, after this trip, after August 2023, I was, yes, now I have to do this. So basically, I went online, the forums, and then I end up meeting with a guy that ends up to be one of my best friends to this day. So yeah, just I think meeting friends online through similar tastes or like just hobbies or things you want to do, similar goals, I think is very, very good. So yeah, I meet this guy and then we start going out partying. And we are both like very autistic, very nerdy. We both want really to study the girls and see what to say. Okay, should we tell this girl this or the other girl this? Should we talk to them from the right or from the left? Should we touch this way or that way in the first 5 seconds? Should we not? Should we get the number now or later? Should we text them soon or later? Should we try to get them to our place or to their place? What if we don't have any place? Should we rent a hotel? Should we go to this vehicle, like a VZ, and try to get them there? Like, there were so many questions, so we were just like studying everything and testing many things. And at some point we started to get better at it. And we end up, pulling a couple of girls to our actually not to the girls' homes, but we didn't do anything. We were just like too friendly. We were reading the theory that you should not be friendly, but still, like from theory to action, there is a big gap, right? So at some point, we said, okay, let's do another thing. And my friend was already into day game, which is cold approach. He was just talking to girls in the daylight, right? Something that, was completely out of reach for me. So yeah, after like 5, 6, 7, 8, or even 10 times that we went out for partying and came home empty-handed, I thought, okay, let's give it a try. So basically I went with him. He was doing this in the street. I went with him, and there are some people that really take a lot of time to do their first approach. My pain was so high of not getting girls. By the way, keep in mind, I was not enough, I was not watching porn. I'm horny as fuck, okay? So I need to get things out of my body. That's, by the way, one of the best things, gentlemen, that you can do. Just stop doing that.
No! God, please, no! No!
I have a video on this channel talking about how I quit. So I recommend really you watch that video because it's changed my life absolutely, completely, right? It's no difference. Sorry, it's like no chance. It's completely different, right? So basically, we end up going to this place, and in the first day, I already approached my girl, like the one girl. And I remember that I was very scared. I had like my balls were here, like boom, 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 boom. What do I say? Keep in mind that I had some sales background, and I was already dealing with a few of pressure things, like on sales calls with like old business owners, and they were just looking down at me. So I had some experience in that sense, but like no experience at all with girls, besides just trying to go out and talk to them, right? So what I did initially, and I'm going to be making a video on how to deal with approach anxiety the best way possible. Let me know in the comments, gentlemen, if you want me to make that video soon or not. But one of the things that I did is I went indirect. So basically I did not tell the girl that I liked her. I just say, okay, I'm looking for, my cousin has necklaces or earrings, and this girl was shopping in the jewelry store. So I told her, do you have any recommendations? What type of earring should I get for my cousin, right? So it's like, blah, blah. And they were telling me about, if she has blonde hair, then you have to give this jewelry. If she has brunette hair, do this, blah, blah. So basically I was doing that in the beginning, right? And for the first 30 approaches, that's what I did. The thing is, it was a bit uncomfortable, because then if I really like the girl, like, how should I switch from that indirect style approach to the direct style approach? So basically, how should I switch from what are your recommendations for jewelry to I actually like you, give me your Instagram? It seems a bit kind of, that you are not really coherent with your words, or you don't have like a clear intent, and it's emasculating. It's like not very manly, right? So at some point I started approaching girls direct, and I started to see better results. Girls were giving me the numbers, and not all of them, of course, because I was still stuttering a lot. I didn't really know what to say besides that. I was telling her she's cute, but then what? Then she says thank you, and then I was struggling, what do I say next now? How do I move this into a conversation that can actually build some tension, that can build some attraction, that can build some trust, and then she's going to give me the contact, right? Because if you say, oh, you're cute, and then what's your Instagram, and then she give it to you, she could potentially give it to you, but then what are the chances of that actually turning into she replying to you later, right? And then you taking her on a date? Like, it was very low. So there are many things that I needed to start improving, right? I'm just seeing a blonde girl now, gentlemen, on the street. I have like a big window here. Man, very nice. Anyways, so what I was doing is I was recording all of the sets, and I was listening to them when I went home. A set basically is an approach. So I approach a girl, I record the conversation with my Apple Watch, and then I hear it. Okay, how is my tonality? What things did I say? What things I didn't say? What could have done better? So basically, that's why I got so many girls and so many dates so quick. In 2 years' time, because I've been obsessing over the details and just analyzing everything, right? And that's, by the way, what I have broken down on the North system, which is free on the North in the description, first link in the description. So that was the first step, just analyzing everything and trying to get better at it. And then 1 month later, I was already, so excited about this that me and my friend, we had the opportunity. Okay, let's go to a different place. Let's try to do sets outside of Madrid, outside of Spain. So we went to Bulgaria. Okay. Not the best place for this type of things, definitely, like, not much volume, but we just went there. It was cheap, it was direct flight, so we said, okay, let's go. And I remember I did in like 6 days, I think it was, like, we were like just 6 nights, which was a mistake. After, many things we learned afterwards, but we were just 6 nights there. And I think I did like 119 or 113 approaches there in just 5 to 6 like in 6 nights or 7 dates, right? So I ended up going on 11 dates. And I remember 5 of those dates were instant dates. I took one girl home, 1 or 2. I took actually 2 girls home, but my friend had locked the door because he was with a girl inside. So basically I couldn't pull the second one home, but I put 2 girls home, but I only could put inside 1. Does that make sense? Yep. Anyways, I didn't get laid. I didn't get laid with that girl, but she was very, very, very nice. So I was like, man, this is nice. I've gone on so many dates. I've made out with these girls. Again, keep in mind that the progress here was happening quick. I was learning a lot. I was studying everything. I was listening every day to all of my recordings every time. So I was improving quite a bit. Yeah. Anyways, gentlemen, you can do this. Like, there is nothing holding you from changing your life this way. Of course, yeah, I mean, let's be realistic here. There are some people that are going to have it easier than others. Like, you probably have it easier than me, or you have it harder than me. That's going to happen. My friends have it easier than me. Some of my friends have it harder than me. Maybe their looks are more shiny with this type of girl in this country. Maybe they like this more type of face, this type of eyebrows, or like, there are many things, gentlemen, that we cannot control, and we know this, right? So what are the things that we can control, and let's just focus on that. Let's not complain. And I made a video recently about the black pill and the red pill, so you just go check that video out. I think it touches these points very, very accurately. So from that point on, I was just on repeat. For 2 years, I was not working that much. I had my business fully delegated. My team was taking care of it. And all I was doing was just approaching girls all day and going on dates, right? So yeah, those were the highest volume months that I had. I would say 2024, 2025, like, was just insane volume. And I did like 8, 9 countries, different ones, and I was doing the same. So that's it. At some point, I think it was April 2024, after like 3 or 4 months of me approaching girls, I got my first, success with a Colombian girl that I met in Madrid. She was a Gucci store dependent, like assistant, but basically she was selling like Gucci things. And then she worked for Loro Piana now. She's selling now real estate villas in Ibiza for like many, many millions. So it's like a very high posh girl. And I pulled her to her own home, which is interesting. I didn't have a place to bang these girls, by the way. So at some point I ended up renting a storage room with my friend, and we ended up paying like $75 a month each. And we were pulling girls to the storage room, which was full of cockroaches. You have, by the way, my on my Twitter page at North Dagem on X, I posted videos about how this storage room looks. And it's not good. And I took there, many girls, but I ended up clapping like 10 of them. And I took like 20 of them or 25 of them there. So yeah, it was interesting. When you wanted to save money and these things, like, you have to get creative. That's why we have as well inside of our community, we have like paid trainings on how to pull girls home, on how to be intimate with them, even if you live with your family, even if you live with wife and that's what you want, whatever it is. Like, we have many options to do these things, right? We have to just be creative. And these are things that I had to go through to get to this point with girls, because I was struggling. What else? So basically we talked about how it all started. Something that I missed is I ended up like losing my V card with like a girl from Bumble. Like, it was in September or October. So basically, as I remember, as I told you, July I started, 31st of July. Then August I was just obsessing from there, and from that night game, approaching girls at night. And then on January 2024 we started approaching girls in the street, basically. So yeah, it was like September 2023 or October 2023. I matched with this girl on Bumble. By the way, I'm not proud of this clapping. Like, the girl was not good. No, I'm just saying it out loud. At most a 3, okay? Not good at all.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
By the way, I recorded a video. I was on the rooftop of my one of the apartments that we were renting in Cyprus. I was doing a business networking event there, and I was in the rooftop recording a story on how I lost my V card. So maybe I should upload that video. Let me know if you want to see it, because I have to edit it and I have to find it. But that story, it's very, very, very interesting, because I had no idea what I was doing and things happened that I was not expecting. So yeah, I lost my V card there, and then yeah, basically the girls that I was getting were nothing. I didn't get any girls. And then finally, after in April 2024, I got like this Colombian chick, which was nice. And from that point on, like that next 2 weeks, boom, exponential. We got the storage room, boom, and all of the girls that I was talking with started to come over, and yeah, it was a big moment, big aha moment and life-changing moment for me. So I'm not sure if there is some information that I'm missing to give now. I'm sure there is, so let me know if you have any questions. That would be kind of my story, and then for the last 1 year and a half, like I've been just traveling and repeating my process in all of these different countries. And of course my game has developed so much because I'm getting way more reference experiences, right? Like imagine going on 405 dates with 201 different girls. Imagine that in 2 years, like how many reference experiences you have recording the dates, right? That's why, you know, that's why my impact, I want to get men that are not getting girls or not getting the girls they want. I want you to get laid, and I want you to have more reference experiences, so then you are going to be happier in the long term, right? Because I believe for me to find the right girl for me or the right girls for me, I need to go through some girls first, so then I can tell which one I like more or what personality traits I'm willing to tolerate or things that I'm not willing to tolerate, right? So that's what I want for all of you too, right? Just get more reference experiences, even if you are getting none now, and then you're going to make a more, you know, thoughtful decision in a few months or in a few years because you have all of this new experience under your belt, right? That's what I want to do with this channel. And yeah, everything is based on my experience. I'm not talking about just like faceless channels, like the, you know, AI stock images channels talking about these things that they just go Machiavelli's principles on this, they go to the old books and they just paste it on the new thing. Like everything that I'm sharing is based on my experience. So yeah, that's the promise I'm making to you. If I keep making videos, of course, if you like this and you subscribe, that's going to tell me that you like this, right? But if I keep making videos, everything is going to be based on my own experiences that I'm, you know, going on dates now to this day, which, by the way, the last date I went was just 2 nights ago, right? And she was here. I ended up pulling her, one of my girls. So, gentlemen, hope you found this useful. Take care, and you can check any other videos here, or you can check first link in the description. You have everything free there. Take care. See you soon.